Have you ever agreed to something, said that one simple word, yes, and then, moments or even days later, a wave of regret washed over you? You start questioning yourself, thinking, why did I say that? I didn't even want it. Here's the thing. You weren't confused. You weren't weak. You were guided quietly, subtly, and expertly into agreement. This is the hidden world of manipulation. It's not about force. It's about influence. Manipulators don't demand your yes. They carefully shape your mind, your emotions, and the entire situation so that saying yes feels like the most natural, logical, and even desirable choice. It feels like your idea. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the psychological tricks that make people agree, even when every instinct inside them is screaming, no. This isn't just about spotting a manipulator. It's about reclaiming your power to choose. The first thing you need to understand is that agreement never begins with the actual request. By the time they ask you for what they really want, the game is already in its final stages. The real work starts long before that. Manipulators are masters of creating an atmosphere of comfort, trust, and connection. They build a psychological bridge to you, and they do it so skillfully you don't even notice it's being constructed. Think about it. They might mirror your body language, leaning in when you lean in. They'll match your tone of voice, speaking softly if you're quiet, or with energy if you're excited. They'll nod attentively while you speak, making you feel completely seen and heard. This creates a powerful illusion of rapport, a sense of we're on the same team. It feels good to be understood, right? But here's the catch. When it's a manipulative tactic, it's not genuine. It's a strategy. Because the moment your emotional guard drops, your logical resistance and your natural skepticism drop right along with it. The formula is deceptively simple. First, make you feel safe and understood. Then, your yes becomes infinitely easier to obtain. It's like they're unlocking a door before you even know they plan to walk through it. Now, let's get into the core mechanic of this trick. It's called the yes ladder, or the consistency principle. They get you to agree to a series of small, seemingly insignificant things. First, these are the tiny steps you take without a second thought. They might ask you questions you'd obviously agree with, like it's a beautiful day, isn't it? Or, we all want this project to succeed, right? Or they'll make harmless statements and wait for your nod. Traffic was terrible this morning. This coffee is great. Each time you nod, or say yes, or I agree, it feels like nothing. It's just a small, conversational gesture. But on a subconscious level, something powerful is happening. You're not just agreeing to, you're building a pattern of agreement in your brain. Your mind loves consistency. Once you've established a pattern of saying yes, your brain wants to continue that pattern. It's mentally easier to stay consistent than to suddenly switch gears and say no. So, after you've said yes 5, 6, 7 times to these little things, your brain is essentially on auto-agree mode. It's primed, it's ready. And that's when they slide in the real request. The big one. The one you would have questioned or rejected if it had been the first thing they asked. But now, it doesn't feel like a big decision. It feels like the next logical step in a conversation you've been agreeing with all along. You don't consciously decide to say yes. You just continue the pattern. That, right there, is the trap. But it gets even more sophisticated. The most skilled manipulators never want you to think in terms of yes or no. That binary choice gives you too much power. Instead, they want you to think in terms of which, yes. They masterfully frame the conversation so that any option you choose still benefits them. Have you ever heard questions like these? So, do you want to help me with this on Tuesday, or would Thursday be better for you? The real question, do you want to help me at all, was never asked. It was skipped entirely. Or maybe, should we go with my idea, Plan A, or my other idea, Plan B? You're so busy weighing the pros and cons of A and B that you forget to ask, what about Plan C? My plan? Or what about doing nothing at all? This is called choice framing. It gives you the illusion of control. You feel like you're making a decision. But the real choice, the fundamental choice of whether or not to participate, was taken off the table before you even sat down. You aren't really agreeing to their request. You're simply accepting a world, a reality that they have already designed for you. You're replaying a game where they've reset all the rules and defined all the winning outcomes for themselves. So, how do you break free from this invisible net? It's not about becoming cynical or distrustful of everyone. It's about developing your awareness. The moment you feel that pull, that sense of being swept along in a current of agreement, you need to do one thing. Stop. Literally. Pause. Take a breath. It doesn't have to be a long, awkward silence. Just a beat. In that moment of quiet, you interrupt their momentum. Manipulators rely on speed and a smooth, continuous flow. They want you to stay on that auto-agree track. The second you pause, you break the pattern. And in that pause, you ask yourself one simple, powerful question. Is this really my choice? Or is this what I truly want? That tiny flicker of internal questioning is like a light switch. It snaps the strings of influence instantly. It pulls you out of their frame and back into your own. Suddenly, you can see the options they tried to hide. You can see the no that was always there, waiting for you. You can see the choice that was yours to make all along. Remember, their entire strategy collapses when you slow down the pace. Momentum is their oxygen. When you take it away, their power vanishes. You are not designed to be a yes machine, automatically dispensing agreement to anyone who knows the right buttons to push. You are meant to be a conscious, deliberate being who chooses your path. And the beautiful thing is, now you know how to spot the path they're trying to force you onto. You can recognize the setup. You can feel the pull of the S-ladder. And you can see the frame they're trying to build around you. The power to say no isn't about being confrontational or difficult. It's about being authentic. It's about honoring your own needs, your own time and your own energy. True agreement is a gift you give freely, not a prize that's tricked out of you. By learning to pause and ask that simple question, you're not just avoiding manipulation. You're stepping back into your own power. You are choosing consciously. And now, you can. Thanks so much for watching. If this resonated with you, I'd love it if you like the video and subscribe for more content that helps you understand the psychology of your world. See you in the next one.